Hello and welcome back to Dynamic Dune. Today we are doing the last decision tab of the simulation, and it is the finance tab. So right now when you reach to this part, which is the finance, it is for some people the most difficult part, but honestly it doesn't take a lot of time and it is the easiest part, and you don't need to do any calculations to fix this. So as you see, we made all the decisions in the previous videos. We made the R&D decisions, we made marketing decisions, production decisions. We haven't made the HR decisions because this is the first round and we don't have access to HR decisions, so it's okay. But if you haven't watched my previous videos, go and check that out. They're gonna teach you a lot. I hope that you're gonna learn a lot from it. And if you have any questions, just ask me in the comment section and I will be answering all your questions. Let's get started. When we reach to the finance tab, we notice that we have a problem in here. So we spent a lot more than what we have in cash. So that means that we're gonna have to raise money. We have a deficit of 27,604,000. So we need to fix that. So how can we fix that? So before that, we need to go and look at our ratios. So we know our leverage and days of working capital. So we go here and check out our ratios. We see that our leverage here, this is leverage. Our leverage is 2.3, and it is okay because if you watched my balanced scorecard video, you will know that we need a leverage of between 1.8 and 2.8. So 2.3 is good. It's not bad. It's actually a good position for it. So the perfect position for it, actually. And then for days of working capital, we have 9, which is very bad because we need days of working capital between 30 and 90. And 9 is very bad. So how can we fix that? How can we fix that? You can read this and it's gonna take you a long time and you might not understand anything. So, or you can go and start playing with it. And you say, okay, I'm gonna go and stop playing because I don't like reading. So you go and say, okay, what if we issue stock? Or sorry, what if we issue long-term debt? So we can issue 18 million long-term debt. And long-term debt is amazing to issue. Why? Because you issue it and then you only have to pay interest. You don't have to pay the total amount. Technically, the simulation ends and you haven't paid back the total amount, so it's okay. So always when you need to have a debt or you need to get a debt, so don't get the borrow here, which is the current debt and the short-term debt. Don't do that. Don't ever do borrowing. Always do long-term. So what if we say, okay, we're gonna get 18 million long-term debt, and we recalculate. How are we doing in terms of ratios? Days of working capital increased, but it's not bad. It's 40, but that means it's very close to 30, which is the limit, or the lower limit of the balanced scorecard. The balanced scorecard said between 30 and 90. So we want to increase it for a little bit. So how can we do that? We can say, okay, then we are unable to get more long-term debt because the maximum long-term debt that we can issue this year is 18,994,000. We can issue that more, 994, or we can go and actually say, okay, we can issue stock too. So let's issue stock, and that's gonna increase our days of working capital. So we say, all right, how much more money do we need to satisfy the deficit that we have in here? We say, okay, let's get 13. What if we get 13 million in stock. And you see here the max issue stock is 17, so it's okay, we're good at 13. So that means we got 1 million left in here, and that's okay. So let's go and check our ratios. And you see here the leverage went down. Leverage is assets divided by equity. So we just increased our equity, therefore it went down from 2.3 to 2. But it's okay because it's far from it's a little bit far from 1.8. So it's not a big problem. And here days of working capital is perfect. It's at 63, which is perfect. It's like in the middle between 30 and 90. So this is good for our ratios. And we go back and say, okay, how are we looking in here? We're doing good in this, and we have 1,000, so we're good. If you believe it, can you believe it? This is it. This is the finances. So we go and say, okay, let's check our balanced scorecard. So now we made all decisions, and this is a projection of how our balanced scorecard is gonna be. They say that we're probably gonna get 66.2 out of 82, which is not bad for the first round, because in the first round they gave you a company and you are starting to make the company and changing it to make it your own and your way. So you're not going to be able to get a perfect score, or unless you work very hard to do it, and there's just too much effort to put in that. And what you can do is just follow the instructions that I gave, and then you're gonna get a little bit better actually than 66 if you did the calculations correctly. This is only a projection. It might be worse, it might be better, so do not rely on this. You need to go and look at your balance sheet. In the balance sheet, you need to go and make sure that you do not get emergency loan. So make sure that you're not projected to get emergency loan. You know that from here because you're not gonna be doing this, but also you need to check for your income statement and make sure that you don't get a net loss. So net profit is more than 7 million, so good. But however, remember if you watched my previous video in the marketing and the production tabs, you will know that the income statement is not going to be accurate. Why? Because what we did is that we changed forecasting. We forecasted lower in the marketing tab, and then we produced a lot more. So when we come here and check the income statement after the round ends and we get the report, you're gonna see that you probably got more net profit because you produced more and you have better products, so you're probably gonna sell that. The reason why we do this is because we don't want to be very positive about our decisions, and if you do this, you will probably get the best out of your decisions, because you will never get a net loss this way. So if you calculated everything correctly, you should have something like this. You notice here that we have a negative 986 for AFT. AFT is not making any net margin for us. It's actually taking money from us. And the reason, it's because we are investing in promotion and sales. So we're doing this for the balanced scorecard. In reality, companies sometimes end a product with a deficit because they want to improve that product, and that's what we're doing right now. We're improving the product's awareness and accessibility, and that's why we're not getting profit from it. So it's okay, don't worry about this. It's gonna get better when the TQM comes, and we're gonna be making a lot of profit from this product, because we're going to have high accessibility and high awareness, and we will be making so much profit. So this is the end of this round. I hope you learned a lot. from the first round of tutorials. If you have any questions, just ask me in the comment below, and give a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.